During this video, we will review how to build availability through LoboAchieve. From your home menu, you will click on the Calendar tab. From here, you're going to want to change your view from the month view to the week view. It makes it easier to build your schedule. You'll notice this week I have a walk-in time scheduled on Tuesday from 9 until 1. If I move forward next week, I have some availability built as well. I notice if I hover my mouse over here that if I click on the ... it will let me know that 3 appointments are occurring during this block. I could remove this block, which would allow me to keep an appointment if I wanted to. If I didn't want to keep that appointment, it will ask me to provide a reason why I am canceling this appointment. Once I've selected a reason, I will be able to hit submit, and that availability block and appointment will be removed and the student will be contacted. When building your availability, you're going to want to click on Manage. This will allow you to build new availability or a new group appointment, which is separate from walk-in and scheduled appointments. Build a new template and look at your availability blocks. We're going to select New Availability. Now, if we had an existing template, it would allow us to select one, but since we do not, we're going to create one. We will have to identify what type of session this will be. If it's going to be an orientation session, maybe the meeting won't be as long. If it's a probation session, maybe the meeting will be even longer. You're going to want to describe for the student the name and what's going to happen during the appointment. Once you've done that, you're going to identify if this is going to be an appointment or a walk-in. For appointments, it is going to ask you, how can this meeting be conducted? In person, phone, video, or online chat. You'll then want to identify your location, how long the appointment duration should be. I like to do a 25-minute appointment with a 5-minute gap. Once you have filled out all of the necessary information, you will select Next. You will then be creating a block of availability. You'll want to click and drag. If this isn't the right week, you will be able to move forward and backwards through the calendar. I'm going to go ahead and start on Monday at 8 a.m. and click and drag until 12 p.m. It's going to ask me if I'd like this to repeat, if I'd like it to repeat on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday through the end of July. That's how I would make this selection. I'll then select OK. And I'm not done until I hit Next, where it confirms the availability I'm about to create, and I will select Create. Now this availability will be available for students to schedule an appointment with me. Next, I'm going to create some walk-in availability. I'm going to click on Manage again and do New Availability, Create New, because this time I need to create a template for walk-ins. You'll notice as soon as I do that, all of the information that talked about the location, the appointment duration, is going to disappear. And all I'm going to need to type in here is to identify what type of walk-ins this is going to be, what's going to happen during that, or what won't happen during walk-ins. As an example, if you're not going to expire a workshop hold because the student needs to attend a workshop, then you're going to want to identify that for the student. And then the location as well. Once we've done that, then we'll be able to do the same thing we did before by clicking and dragging. I do want this to repeat on Tuesdays and Thursdays through the end of July. And I'll select OK. Just like last time, I'm going to need to select Next and select Create in order to have these appointment times up for students. Now, students are not allowed to sign up for walk-in times. It just identifies for the student that this is a time that they could walk in, but they're not allowed to schedule an appointment to do so. Finally, the last type of availability that I could create is going to be a group appointment. Group appointments do not have the option to repeat. I'm going ahead and create a new template for this particular group session. Maybe you have admissions workshops or just information that you'd rather be given in a group rather than in an individual setting. You will be able to select a capacity and identify whether or not the students can schedule for themselves. The reason you would not want them to schedule themselves is if it is for a specific population that only certain students are allowed to register for. Once I select Next, I'm going to find the time that I want to have this workshop. You'll notice that I don't have the option to repeat, but I could come in here and change if I had clicked and dragged incorrectly before, just like in any of the other menus, and select OK. I will need to select Next and Create in order for that to be created for students to be able to register. Now, since I did select that students cannot register themselves, I'm going to want to make sure that I identify how the students are able to register themselves in the appointment information. Now, other things I can do in the Manage tab are going to be, now that I have some templates created, I'm going to be able to come in here and delete some templates if I have some that I accidentally created, or I won't be able to remove any if they are being used by a block that was the group appointment that I had just created. Once your templates have been built, when you come back to build your availability, you will be able to use your existing templates. Now, once that existing template has been selected, I'll be dropped right into the menu to be able to create my availability. Same like before, I will be able to repeat. I then will select Next and Create to create my availability. Now that I have availability built, if I was to look at my month menu, I will be able to see anytime a walk-in is scheduled will be more like a bar. Anytime these little dots are here, these are unscheduled appointments. They will turn green once they are scheduled. For those that have been scheduled, you can click on the green dot to bring up the menu where you could begin the session. From here, I could cancel the appointment, and I will need to give a reason for the student. I will then have the option to replace the slot. You'll want to replace the slot if a student accidentally scheduled with you when they shouldn't. This will allow another student to schedule after the appointment had been canceled. If you need to delete blocks, from the week view is going to be the easiest way to see this. Once you get to the date that you want to cancel, you can hover your mouse over any block except for the group. That will allow you to, when you click on the dot dot dot, remove this block, or maybe you made a mistake on all of your schedule, so you can come in here and remove all blocks. Notice a little menu down here tells me that everything was successfully removed. I also can click on a slot individually and remove slots individually if I don't want to have a student schedule for those times. For the group session, I do have to click on that in order to cancel the appointment. It doesn't give me the option of the ellipsis to click on it to make any changes. If you have any questions, please email LoboAchieve@unm.edu.